What's up, guys? I just got done doing a great podcast over with Duke Baxter, owner of Zone Sports Academy. Duke's a great guy. We connected through the BNI networking group, and we share a lot of core values, a lot of similar core values, and I can relate to him on a lot of different levels, and I respect what he's doing over there with the youth, changing the kids' lives, and also not only teaching them how to play baseball, but also teaching them, life skills and teaching them how to be a good leader in the real world. You may notice a little a bat sound, a bat hitting a ball. Duke had asked me to eliminate all of the F-bombs that I dropped because his audience is some young kids, so he doesn't want them hearing, the F-bomb being dropped every other word. Actually, 16 times, matter of fact, because Duke actually outlined exactly how many times I said it. But you're going to hear a little bat sound, so if it sounds a little weird, J-Rock kind of dubbed out the F word and put a little crack in there. So that's what you're hearing, and I respect Duke enough to, take that out. Normally, I'm authentic and raw, and just kind of, I don't even think about how many times I use the word F. But for this episode, just giving you guys a little heads up that it's not my authentic self. I mean, I'm being authentic, but I bleeped out the word F with a bat sound. So listen up. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Actually, what you don't like, keep it to yourself. I don't care about that. Let me know what you like. And let me know what you want to see more of. So we're on the podcasting tour, and if you also want to be interviewed, if you have a cool story and you want to be on our show, let us know. All right? Peace.
You're listening to Project My Life.
You're listening to Project My Life because I'm listening to it.
Because here's the thing. That's why I don't take it's Project My Life with Anthony Monetti. Anthony Monetti is conducting the interviews, but I'm telling your story right now. This is about you. This is about Duke Baxter. This is about Project Your Life. Your life wasn't easy. What's created this hasn't been an easy road. But that's your project. That's your Project My Life. So I want them to know that this is the introduction to Duke Baxter's Project My Life.
How do I say the beginning again?
Here you go. Ready? Want me to tell you? Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Duke Baxter. You're in Zoned right now. You're listening to Project My Life.
I can do that.
Done, bro.
Hey, everybody. I'm Duke Baxter. We're here at Zone Sports Academy. I'm also called AKA the Dukeser. I'm here with Anthony Monetti. This is Project My Life.
I'm here with Duke Baxter, founder and creator of Zoned Sports Academy in Bridgewater, New Jersey. But I met Duke through the BNI group, the business networking group that Karen belongs to. She goes to every Tuesday. The Patriots, right?
Yep.
Ironic is that, the Patriots.
Exactly.
So yeah, as soon as we linked up, as soon as we met, it was like...
the energy was there. The flow was like, dude, what can we do together?
What can we do? There's a lot of parallels. There's a lot going on. Duke's doing big things here in Zoned. With the kids, I think that not only the culture you're creating, speaking about the Alabama story, but the culture you have here is genuine too, and I feel that energy when I walk in the door. We've done a couple things. We did, I think, you have an open house night, or would you have something?
Yeah, we had a big Red Hawk event, and you ran one of the events, and you got to see 170 Red Hawks, and they went through the station with you and Karen, and it was a blast. Like, it was
brilliant.
Tug of war. You were taking on everybody, biceps blaring,
That's
pulling
probably how
down.
I started breaking my bicep. But how you conduct all these coaches and all these kids is amazing, and I know we have I say small, it's 3,600 square feet studio, and we have a little yoga studio, obviously. Right. But we have 14 people that work there, including myself, and there's not nearly as many, things, events that go on that you have going on here.
It's all relative, though.
It's all relative. I can only imagine what it takes to kind of make this tick.
Are you like a football fan, or like Alabama, and like do you?
I don't follow.
Okay, so what happened this past weekend, which I was watching it on Saturday, was that the Hurts is his last name. He was last year's SEC Player of the Year, quarterback for Alabama, ranked number one in the country. Blah blah blah. Halfway through the game, the world championship game, he's not doing that well. Coach Saban then takes the backup guy and puts him to start the quarterback.
I love it. He kills
He
it.
then comes back and they win the world and they win the national championship with the backup guy. I mean, how ballsy is that?
Yeah.
So the beginning of this season, this guy Hurts now, who was the SEC Player of the Year, like best football player practically in the country, is now told that he's the backup quarterback for the team.
What the?
Instead of whining and complaining and going somewhere else. So as I'm looking at all the parents, I said, why did Hurts stay at Alabama? He's the best player in the country, and he's now told that he's backup. What? Who stays at an organization when they're backup?
Right.
Who stays at an organization when they're the best, but yet they're told they're not? This guy does. So he stays because of the culture of what they built. He believes in the organization more than himself. So he then goes out. They're now playing against Georgia. They're undefeated. They're playing Saturday night. Their team's down by 14. And the starting quarterback gets hurt. Hurts then comes in. First drive, drives him down the field for a touchdown. Second drive, drives him down the field for a touchdown. Alabama beats Georgia. Hurts, after the first touchdown, the other quarterback comes over. He hugs him and kisses him. He's like, and you can see it's almost like he's like, I got your back, bro.
Wow.
Instead of being like, dude, I knew I should have been the starting quarterback. I told you how good I was.
That's awesome.
No, it was more like, dude, I accept my role. I'm doing what I need to do, and like it was just like, it was just an amazing. And I feel like in today's society, I just want to jump ship. If stuff's not working right,
exactly.
I just want to go somewhere else.
Right.
I'll go play here. I'll go over there. Oh, this is too hard. I don't like the way this. Dude, this is the guy that's the best of the best, but was just in such an amazing culture that was like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sure he probably thought of it.
Sure, of course.
Who knows what, but to see that guy stay, but then, I mean, that's how you build a legacy. Like, think, people are going to talk about this guy forever.
Right.
And that how he just...
This is, where's the story from?
This just happened on Saturday.
Please.
This just happened on Saturday.
So
the
he's
Alabama
playing ball
National.
currently.
Yeah. For the University of Alabama. They were 12-0, and they're playing Georgia, and this all happened. And I'm watching it like, I couldn't believe like the story behind the story.
That's brilliant.
So when I'm talking with the Long Island Ducks, and I'm like, you guys don't need to go anywhere.
Right.
Like, stay here. These guys care about you. They care. There's the UPS guy.
Oh, no shit.
He's in the cage whacking balls. So hopefully that doesn't mess up the whatever, but
That's part of the environment, man. We'll capture it.
So I was just like, it's
That's brilliant.
That's
brilliant. That's to use that to speak to the LA Ducks.
Yeah, it just happened. I just thought of it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna speak to the Ducks about this
brilliant.
because it happens all the time. Guys on a team, they don't make the elite team or the top team. And all of a sudden it's a status thing, like then I'm not gonna play. It's like, what do you mean you're not gonna play? Like, do you love the team? Yeah. Do you like the organization? Yeah. So why are you not playing then? Because your feelings are hurt?
Right.
Or because your mom's upset that you're not on the best team, but the kid really wants to play for it? Like,
because you're not perfect, or because you're going through a growth phase, or you're not. Everybody has to get rewarded, even if you suck nowadays. And then the elite, they get rewarded, and they need to be on top constantly. They can't take defeat. Question though, LA Ducks is a semi-pro?
No, the Long Island Ducks
The
Long Island Ducks are an organization just like Zones.
Okay.
So they have travel teams at all different ages. And so what we did is we went there to talk to their recruitable kids,
How did they
the high school
contact you?
kids, actually through Ray Navarrete. Ray, being a Long Island Duck, knew Vic and Tony.
Gotcha.
They then said, man, Zone has all these guys and gals that are going on to play college ball. They're doing a really good job with their recruiting department to help their kids get recruited. We don't really have this department, and we need this, or we're going to lose guys to organizations that are doing that. So we came in last year. We sat down. We talked down to the parents. There was 105 people there, parents, kids, and just talked to them about the whole recruiting process.
Awesome.
Because there's so much to it, and it's so overwhelming. And
that's what I love about you guys. You teach the core. What are your core values? You can tell. What are your core values here?
We have a lot of them. We always talk about being on time. We always talk about hard work. I always say effort, hustle, and attitude. Those are the things that are going to take you where. We don't whine, we don't make excuses, and we don't complain. If we can stay away from doing those three things and consistently give max effort, work hard, hustle, and have a good attitude with what we're doing, then you're gonna. Because there's so many things in any game, in any life, and in any sport that that things are going to happen to you, but it's the attitude that you take towards it And controlling the controllables is a huge phrase that we always say. Control what you can control, that's it. We can't control the rain, we can't control the umpire if he made a bad call, we can't control this or that. We can control our at-bat, we can control how we approach our at-bat, we can control our mindset of what we're doing, we can always hustle, and we can always just go balls to the wall all the time. If we do that, whatever happens, happens. If you get cut from a team, there's nothing you can do about it. That guy, you might have had a bad day, the guy might, who knows what. That doesn't mean you're not good either. That doesn't mean quit. I didn't make my team, so I'm just gonna quit. No, that doesn't mean you're not good. It just means you didn't make that team, or you didn't. But it's so easy just to
give up.
You don't get what you want, you just stop, give up, or mom or dad's like, don't worry about it. No, it's, if you strike out, you're out. You can be mad at yourself, but then get over it. You're out. Don't say, yeah, the umpire did this, or it's okay that. No, it's not. It's okay that you got out, but. It's not okay that you just made an excuse that it's the umpire's fault. You're out. We've all struck out thousands of times.
You see a lot of other parents?
I see it a lot. Everyone says today, today's kids are so soft. This is, it's like this topic. I'm like, when I think about it, I think that the people that are around those kids are making them allowed to be softer.
Like teachers or
teachers, parents, it's like making excuses for them for something that didn't go right. It's not that the kids are just soft all of a sudden, like, oh, the kids can't. No, they're not. The kids aren't soft. They've been, if I can't tie my shoe, well, then all of a sudden my mom ties my shoe for me. I don't have to tie my shoe. I'm not soft. I wasn't taught how to tie my shoe because I didn't have to. So it's more of, it's that, and the mentality of, don't worry, I'll just create my own team for you. Instead of work harder, bust your butt, get better, and maybe you'll make it next year. What's wrong with that? Or, dust yourself off, get back up. Fall 9 times, get up 10 times. You just keep on moving, you keep on going, you just,
Kind of like business, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit too. What did I tell you about this guy, man? Right? Fire, man. I can't keep up. I'm in my head trying to take notes. I wish I would have brought a notepad so I can go back and ask you questions about all the stuff that you were talking. So I'm going to try to backtrack a little bit and give me, you mentioned earlier that you were playing ball with the Patriots in 2002. You left there, and you actually, same year. I don't know how much of a difference there, how many months there were difference, but you stepped off the field and you stepped into this field, right? In when did you
2002, yeah. So it was right after that season was over.
Which is when?
To the probably March of 2002.
And when this opened?
Maybe 3 months before then.
Oh, so you're ready. Oh,
so
wow.
So it was kind of like there was some overlap.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't actually here for some of those pieces.
Do you miss playing?
Yes and no. I still get to play.
Right.
I still get to play every day. I get to still take ground balls. I still get to show the kids and explain to them what we're doing. I still get to hit in the cages a little bit, but actually on-field competition, I think you always have hunger for that. So I just do it in other ways now.
That's awesome.
Whether it's in the back there with my kids shooting hoops, or no matter what it is, it's like everything turns into a competition.
Right.
I feel like once you're a competitor,
it never
it's
stops.
in everything.
Right.
I'll take a guy out of nowhere and be like, put a ball on a tee over there and be like, hey, let's see who hits it first. Or the first snowstorm, I went outside with Coach Lou. The first guy to hit the telephone pole wins. It's like anything you can do that you can
awesome.
Win or lose or compete and just kind of put yourself in the pressure cooker. It's I just love that.
You knew when to turn it in, right? In the baseball.
I knew when to turn it in. Once my wife was, once we were pregnant with Madeline, I knew that she allowed me to stay on the journey as long as I could. But then once family kicked in, firstborn, that's when we said pretty much, that's, all right, Daddy's got to now, I'm not going to make it to the big leagues. Right. I knew that, and then.
I'm not good in math. How old were you? 30 what? 40, what are you now?
28 maybe.
28, okay.
I think I was 28, yeah.
Open up your own business. You had a vision of this back then?
Right out of college, and even through college, I would help out with some camps and some clinics and stuff like that. And again, like we said about, we were talking about passion and stuff, just the game of baseball, anything about it. So helping kids in it, playing it, running a camp, I just loved it. Yeah. So I'd come back in the summer and help out in summer baseball camps. I'd help out my high school coach, and I'd be involved that way. Then I started giving private lessons.
So 28, you retired. When did you start?
when did I actually start doing it? I'd say 25 years old when I was actually giving lessons and all
I mean,
that.
like I'm carrying my mitt around right now. This is my mitt I played when I was 13.
Let's go.
But my parents.
I started when I was 5. I started when I was 5. I had
shit.
videos. I saw videos, and I remember at 6 years old, I pretty much the whole first half of the season when I was in Little League, I struck out almost every time because I was playing with the 7 and 8 year olds. And my mom's friend said, "Hey, does Duke want to play? We need an extra guy." So she's like, "All right." So first game, strike 1, strike 2, struck out. And I wish I could go back into my brain to see what I was actually feeling. Going through a whole half of a season of just striking out and being the low in a totem pole until I got my first hit. And my mom said it was like, all I would do is the worse I did, meaning the more I struck out, the more I would practice. And at 6 years old and at 7 years old, when you're practicing outside by yourself or doing whatever, it's just, you're just determined to get it done.
10,000 hours, man.
10,000 hours,
So it's
I've superseded that a few times.
5, you said, or 4?
5.
5 years old.
Yeah.
All right, dude. So they just get T-ball, Little League.
T-ball, middle school, high school.
Where'd you grow up, around here?
Right in Bridgewater. Actually, I grew up in Raritan. And then it was kind of like, I still went to Bridgewater High School.
Okay.
So Raritan is kind of like, there's like one road where 28 is. If you're on this side of 28, you're in Raritan. When you're on this side, you're Bridgewater. But yeah, grew up in Bridgewater. I was the first graduating class in '92 when Bridgewater combined, because it was East and Bridgewater West. They were two separate high schools.
Interesting.
And then when I was a senior, we kind of, they all came together.
Played ball through high school?
All through high school.
Where'd you go to college?
The University of North Florida. I went to Elon my freshman year, then I went to a junior college in Florida, and then I finished up at North Florida.
What was your position?
Second base.
Second base.
Second base. I got recruited as a third baseman. Then the second baseman got hurt, went over to second base, and just stayed there ever since. Then pro ball, I played third, short, and second. So, infielder.
Quick, man. I see you got you're always flipping. What do you call it?
Quick hands. I'm always just doing the quick hands, getting the ball, deflecting it out, going fast.
Speaking of quick hands, you're inventing shit too, right? You got patents on some things?
I have 2 patents. Working on my third.
It's called hot hands, or what? Not?
It's called hot hands, and what it is it's 2 Velcro straps that go around your wrists. So, backtracking to my first year in college, I was running a middle infield station. And we were tossing the balls and trying to get the kids to use 2 hands. So it was like one hand, and I'm like, man, I got to think of something that they have to use 2 hands. So they're not going to be fast enough.
Right.
So I found this old wire that was on the ground, and I wired this kid's hand so he was like this. So I threw 5 balls to him. He caught it and went like this. And as soon as I took it off, he was like this. And I'm like, I think I got something. I'm like, everyone always says use 2 hands, but let's make him do it. So started this product while I was in college. My sister helped out, my grandmother, my mom. So they were cutting nylon strips like this. We were cutting a hole in it. We were bolting them together, Velcroing the sides, sewing the pieces together. Then I found the manufacturing company. Then I got a patent on it, and it's like.
So it Velcros on your wrist, right?
Right, and there's a Velcro tip, so I can field the ball with it. And when I get ready to throw, it disengages so that I can throw.
No shit.
So then you just put it back on. So for little guys, it's perfect because it makes you get in front of the ball. Because kids that are afraid, they'd rather go like this to get their body out of the way.
Right,
but when you put their hands together, it forces them to get in front of the ball. So it really helps their body positioning, but then it allows them to throw. So.
Brilliant.
Just
brilliant.
So really, you're just in it all the time. My brain's always in it. I'm always thinking of drills, coming up with stuff. People are like, how the heck? I have a video right now. Steve and I did, and we put PVC pipes down, and you roll a ball to make bad hops. To give an example, sometimes you play on turf fields, and the hops are always perfect.
Right.
So, but that's not reality when you go out on the field. So I put these small 1-inch PVC pipes on the ground at 3 different levels, and I rolled tennis balls. So the ball just ricochets off.
Constantly.
It has over 3 million views on YouTube. And people are like, how do I get that? How do I, so you always get some of your haters, right? Like, oh, that's not even realistic. Well, it's for reflexes and reactions. I know that. There's not gonna be a PVC pipe on the field, but it's to work on
fucking imagination. It's going to be a stone. It's going to be a rock.
It's great. Exactly. So it's just coming up with things that are going to help the kids because it's an unpredictable game.
Right.
But we teach it to be predictable. Here's a routine ground ball. How about having a guy face that way waiting, listening for the ball to hit the bat, then he pops his feet and has to find the ball and go catch it. Like, that's really what the game is, right? Kids aren't paying attention, the ball hits the bat, and all of a sudden they're like, you know, they're not supposed to be not paying attention.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I was the guy in the outfield, like, trying to avoid being hit by the... I loved baseball.
Right.
I loved to throw. They put me in center field because I had an arm. I was decent. I made, like, I guess, was it 15 or 14, 15-year-old all-stars? Like, I was like, but never like playing baseball in high school. Never like anything more than that. But because I was athletic, I can transfer that into something else if I were to, you know. My parents put me in baseball because we moved into a new town and I was heavy. I was doing judo up north and I was like in shape and I was like, that was keeping me active. Moved down the shore, I became a recluse. Like, all I wanted to do is play video games and eat and get fat, right? I didn't care. Let's put them in baseball, make them some friends. And that's what it was. So that's like when I moved into a new town, I was like playing baseball. So I get it. It's fucking boring, dude. Like, a lot, like, you have to be like on point. Like, if I was to do like now, as like a 40-year-old, like my mind's all over the place, like shiny object. So imagine in the outfield, and it's just pitch after pitch, you know. So how
you may get one ball a game, right? You may get one ball a game, maybe.
So how do you have so much? Because it's like anything else. Like, people ask me, like, how do you get so passionate about standing up on stage in your fucking underwear? Like, it's your thing, right? Baseball is your thing. So you said that kids aren't. You don't want them to not pay attention, but it happens.
It happens.
So how do you keep the boring or potentially boring game exciting and interesting for these kids? I guess if they're kids like you were as a kid, you're into it no matter what, right?
A lot of it is the coaching. So when Steve and I came up with that book, taking on the title of coach, because
another thing,
because of the fact that a lot of coaches are just volunteer coaches, right? Like, if my son asked me, hey, Dad, I want to play lacrosse tomorrow, can you be my coach? I'd be scared shitless because I don't know anything about lacrosse, but I'd probably say, yeah, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure it out, but then I need a tool to like learn it. So I'll go on, I don't know where I would go. I'd go on YouTube. I'd try to find. So running a practice when you're, it's called baseball is the boring sport because a lot of times coaches will take one bucket of balls, put a guy at home plate, throw batting practice. All the kids in the field will chase a ball here and there, but that's boring. So creating stations within practice. So you four are going to be with Coach Mike, you four are going to be with Coach Lou, you four are going to be with Coach Anthony, and you four are going to be with Coach Duke. Ground balls, fly balls, base running, and sliding. Well, now all of a sudden, you're keeping those kids moving around, teaching them all the skill sets, and in the game. They say that in a 2-hour game, that's the average game, 2-hour game, the ball's in flight for 8 minutes. So when you say it's boring, that's why. So for 8 minutes out of 2 hours, the ball's in flight. So when you're not paying attention, so that's the kind of, and the pitches are throwing 125 pitches. So for 125 pitches, you have to be on point, making sure that one ball that's hit that line drive, that you're ready to make a play.
I guess it's a game of patience too, because you have to be patient, you have to be focused for that amount of time.
I love that word. I love that word. I know you use that all the time, and people are like, what are your 3 keys to success? And I always say the 3 words: persistence, passion, and patience. They're like, well, how can you have passion and patience at the same time? I said, well, I hustle. You probably say this too. I hustle while I wait. So I'm patient, but that doesn't mean I'm patient and I'm stopping and I'm doing nothing. I'm patient in that I'm going to continue to do what I do daily. I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to be ready for the opportunity, but I'm not going to, oh my gosh, that didn't happen. I'm going to go do this instead. Like, so patience is kind of like certain things are on idle while you're busting your butt so that when that opportunity happens, you're ready to hit it.
It's almost like another word for that. Do not give up, and just be patient. Like,
just be patient.
Just keep on working. Keep your head down, keep your focus. Every day's not going to be peaches and fucking cream and rainbows and unicorns, but keep at it. Man, I do want to get before we leave. I want to throw the ball a couple times, and I want to hit some balls. If you're okay with that,
I am.
It'd be great B-roll for this. But I also want to talk about. I need a nap after I talk to this guy. What?
His book, maybe?
Well, I was just going to say, like, there's so many things. Like, I want to talk about hot hands. I want you to make sure you give yourself enough plug for that, right? How do we find these hot hands for these kids?
Well, the hot hands, we started a new website called DominateTheDiamond.com. And the reason for that is because we have an indoor facility. It's 28,000 square feet. But if somebody in California wants to appreciate what we do, we started an online video course. So this online video course has 115 videos of the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of coaching. So if you want to teach hitting or pitching or fielding or catching or how to coach, Dominate the Diamond has everything. So it has a book. I have the video series. You know, I'm dying to do podcasts because I think that, and I thought of a really cool name called The Game's Got Your Back. So what does that mean to me? The game's got your back because usually your mom's got your back or your best friend or that core guy's got your back no matter what happens. But the life lessons that you learn in a game or in bodybuilding, what bodybuilding through the core of it, what it's taught you and how it's molded you. So the game's got your back is what are the lessons that you learned by busting your ass and failing and falling and striking out and all the failures that you've gone through. How has that helped you with where you are right now?
Fucking brilliant.
So the game's got your back, and I wanted to have it to where I would call guys like yourself, like, how does bodybuilding have your back?
Right.
What did it teach you now that you're using today? How can we help the kids of today with overcoming some of these things? Because, you know, they see all this stuff on social media, and half of the stuff is so fake.
Right.
You know, I have kids that are freshmen in high school, and like they feel like they're behind the 8 ball in recruiting because everybody's getting signed already. I'm like, no, just because the kid posted a picture of him at the University of North Florida or Vanderbilt, like it doesn't mean he's going there.
Right.
But they think that. Like it builds, you know, it's like a guy that posts these cool sneakers, and he's like, dude, check out my new. You don't even know if there's really his sneakers, but kids will post it and be like, dude, check out my new kicks.
Interesting.
Then you go see the guy and you're like, dude, those aren't, where'd you, oh, I was just messing.
Right.
But then you got 50 buddies all saying about, hey, did you see Duke's new kicks?
Right.
You know, and it just paints a picture where everyone feels nowhere near as good as the next guy.
Right.
Instead of, so the game's got your back. How do we help kids get a stronger backbone and be able to like, dude, screw you when someone says it to you, like, not everything's going to affect me. I can't let everything bother me, and everything's not real. What someone says isn't always the truth.
Right.
That's just what they're saying, or it's their opinion. But that doesn't have to be your reality, like what they say about you. You know, like,
Brilliant, dude.
You know, like.
I mean, I love talking about entrepreneurs. I love talking about, you know, especially if it's in the athletic realm, which is a lot of our guests are.
Right.
But you're doing it for the kids,
Right.
which I think is setting a huge, you know, you're smashing a dent into the universe with positivity. And I love that they're learning from the age 10, because that's a crucial age where a lot of them don't have that from, I don't want to say it negatively, but it's hard for parents to raise, you know, and I think that there is a lack of leadership potentially with new generations. I think it started with basically No Child Left Behind, and how, like, you know, every child was rewarded something, and it left this kind of, it took the competition out of it, but it also made people feel like they need to be kind of rewarded for any effort, let alone you know how hard, you know, long hours or years of work. Interesting stuff.
Think about this in the game of baseball. It's like everybody wants their kid to make a team. Nobody wants their kid to sit the bench.
Right.
Everybody thinks that they should be playing. Okay. What happens the better you get, the more you sit?
Right.
So what does that mean? Well, when you go play on the high school baseball team, there's 18 kids, 9 play. So 9 are sitting, and they're high school players. Now you go to college, there's 35 guys on a roster. 29 or 27 are on scholarship. Only 9 are playing. Even more guys are sitting.
Wow.
So you're talking about college athletes that are sitting. Then you go play pro ball. And so you're a professional athlete, and you still have to sit the bench. You don't have to like to sit the bench, but if we have these kids and we try to make it so easy for them all the time, the first time they have to sit the bench, they quit.
Right.
Because we told them it's not okay to sit the bench. But later on, the further you get in life, the better you get. You have to sit.
So you're training them to not be prepared for that.
Right, and then they'll just quit.
Right.
Well, how far did your son? Well, he got up to 12 and he stopped. Why? Because, well, he didn't make this. So why are you quitting? So I had our 10-year-old kid say, why do you love the game? Like, why are you playing it? I love it because it's fun. I love it because my friends. I love it because, okay, well then if you get cut, you can't stop playing then.
Right.
Because you still love it for this, and this.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? So when you get back to the core of why you play it, I have some kids that wouldn't even, you know, that are in 7th grade, and the 7th graders don't usually make the high school or the middle school team, so why try out? I said, what? I said, what do you mean? That doesn't even make sense to me. So I'd rather try out and get cut, and for them to say, you're not good enough, Anthony. You didn't make it. Okay, I'll try it again next year. I'm not going to try out because I might get cut. Like that's how you go. Like that's what we are teaching the kids. So it's like let's just keep them away from that possible negative of what might happen, or my kid got. Okay, bro. Next year, at least you tried. At least you tried out. Like, awesome. You gave yourself an opportunity to be successful.
To get better.
You know, like.
It's so true, bro. It's powerful.
He didn't make it, but a bunch of his buddies didn't even try out. And I'm like, but then you know what? You know what happens though when that does happen? You know, say you're my buddy and I try and I get, or I do make the team. Here's what the kids do. Bro, you're so lucky I didn't try out. You're lucky because you wouldn't have made it if I tried out.
Wait,
you know what I mean? Like that's what kids think. Because that's the only way that they can make themselves feel better. Well, if you made it, I know I would have made it. Yeah, but you didn't try because you had no.
Right, exactly.
You had no to try out, so don't even say that.
Right.
But they all will. Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, you made it, but I didn't. It's like, dude, whatever. Like,
they avoid.
And they avoid that piece. Yeah. But sometimes the parents keep them from that piece.
Well, that's
you know, like that's the part I see all the time. I'm like, dude, don't talk to your son during the game for me. You can talk to them afterwards. Like they're mine right now because I got to get them so mentally like locked in and ready. Like if they strike out, I'm just like, dude, get them next time. Hustle, get back on the field, and like don't worry about it. But if I left up to the parents to be like, oh my gosh, the umpire stunk. That was a horrible call. And then the kid starts feeling like, yeah, I know. And then the kid goes, yeah, I know. My mom said the umpire stunk. And it's like, dude, get on the field and go field the baseball. That's over with. Like the good kids aren't doing that. Like they're not complaining and whining. And
do you see different parents? You see different parents?
I see different levels, different.
No, I mean with those kids, the kids who aren't looking at it like that. They aren't blaming the umpire. They're not blaming.
Yeah, they're grittier. They're you know they attack it more. They get after it, and it's so you try to instill it, but you're only with them for a game. They're with their parents all the time. But hopefully the parents kind of
buy into it.
And they're like, whoa, because if you weren't an athlete, you don't understand how hard baseball is. You don't know what it feels like to be in front of 10,000 people, or for a little kid having 50 people's a ton, right? You're out there by yourself with a bat in your hand, and there's a guy throwing to you. So if you strike out, you struck out. I can't go hide somewhere.
Exactly.
I can't say it was a bat. Like you're stuck in that, or if you're pitching and you have the bases loaded, it's like that's pretty scary. You walk a kid, you lose. Well, if you feel like you lost, so it's like it's a very
pressure.
It's a very team sport, but yet very individualistic, and a lot of sports are like that. But in baseball, it's like you're in the spotlight, and it's kind of like, all right, like that's hard. That's hard for some kids. They don't want that. They don't want that.
I played on a bunch of teams, but I'm more of an individual. Like even bodybuilding is even more specialized. Where like I can't rely on anybody. All my controllables are what I eat, how I work out, how I sleep, and what I think about. Like there's nothing else is going to get in the way. When you are playing on a team, you are, I think, a little bit more vulnerable. I don't know how to make this sound, because I've always went back and forth with it, even my social media. Like I want to tell my story. It's like I've never been a team player, but you walk in body, it's like, how much of a team are we, J-Rock? You see it. Like every time J-Rock will say, like, you should put this video because I think that it would be good for your. I'm like, no. I'm like, at first he didn't really get it, but I'm like, we're doing this together. Like we are here. Body is a community. I am a part of it for sure, and my hats change from day to day with what I do here, but we're doing this. But when it came down to sports, for some reason, I was always like, I'll go in my basement, I'll do my workouts. And I took that competition to a whole nother level. But I never had this. I had a rec league from the town. It was Brick, I don't know, I forget the name of it, actually. The town league, where you had to go to like...
Little League.
Little League, It was not PAL.
It could have been.
No, I won't think it was though. Anyway, so there was always one or two guys that I didn't like on the team, but I feel like as a leader, as a coach here, you create that environment so no matter what, when these kids are here, they're buying in. And or do you ever have or have you ever been in a situation where you had to like let a kid go or say that it wasn't really a good fit? Or do you accept?
We have.
Okay.
Sometimes due to the parents and sometimes due to the kids. Unfortunately, sometimes it's due to the parents too. Like we have rules that they have to follow. Like You can't be cursing about other kids or talking about other kids in the stands, or making it to where the environment's really
Sure, it's culture.
because it's like, oh man, I should be playing over your kid, and next thing you know, that kid makes an error, and it's like, see, and it
causes that.
Yeah, it just gets
So you've been in situations like that.
Yeah, and it's just so uncomfortable, and you're just like, what are you thinking? Like,
Right.
and then you wonder why your kid's worse than is doing the same thing.
Right.
And it makes it hard. But I think the older I get, the more I realize that you have to put yourself first and care about yourself and love yourself to then love someone else. And I think always growing up, it was always like, man, I would never talk about myself. I would never be like, oh, ego, or like, oh, you're just being cocky. Like, so I never did it. I never talked about it. I never talked about what we did. I never talked about the guys and where they played, because it was always just like,
Try to be humble.
Try to be humble, but then over time it's like, you have to do that. You have to work out for yourself, and you can't skip and help out every single person that's around you, because then all of a sudden you don't have that you know what I mean? Like, you don't have much to give. It's like if you don't have $1, I can't give you one if I don't have one.
Right,
so I need to be able to make money to be able to give you money if you need money, or I need to be able to love myself in order to be able to love you. I can't just and I think a lot of people are empty. They're empty, and it's I have just trying to create rituals and habits that are.
You mentioned ego though, like, because you're very similar to me. I feel like with energy and being the forefront of this place. Like, I know Duke.
Right.
We're going to Duke's place. Like, Zoned is like an extension of you, right? But you bleed this place. And now you're trying to. You have been doing more videos, which I've been seeing. Which awesome work with that. You are doing a lot of these videos. Diamond to Diamond is all you and Steve.
And Steve. But but even something like that, we try to make it to where it's like that's still under the Zoned umbrella, like Zoned and Dominate the Diamond. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like an extension of it.
Sure.
People see the Dominate the Diamond videos and are like, oh my gosh, you guys are right in Bridgewater? Like, let's go and let's,
That's awesome.
so it's just like, it's like.
Do you feel, because you mentioned ego, and I've been dealing with that for a while, using I feel like what I'm really good at is this. Creating, this stuff and interviewing, and I'm passionate
This
about
stuff even worries me. Like, this kind of like embarrasses me a little bit.
Well, I was just gonna say,
which is very difficult, because I'm even you're talking about me, and I'm like, what should I say? Like, it's very hard for me to talk about, like, when you're like, oh, this place is yours. Like even that makes me feel weird. But it's like, why? You can't feel weird.
Because you just said love yourself first. So because I deal with that psychology a lot, man. Even when J-Rock first came on board, I'm like, dude, I gotta be honest with you. It's difficult for me to document myself doing what I think I'm really good at, to get myself to where I want to be. But I feel like if I don't do this, I'm not doing I'm not fulfilling what I really want to do.
You and I did that challenge with Garrett a year ago about we are going to make 6 videos each.
I forgot about that.
That's the first time I actually would. It was almost like I had to make myself go on camera and be like, hey guys, and I got so many people that were just like, you need to do this more often. I watch your stuff, I listen to it, it gets me excited, it gets me pumped up, it makes me, it always but for me, it's like, it's hard. I even have a business card. It doesn't even say CEO on it. It says head coach.
Right.
Because it's like a softer way of like,
right.
And everyone here is just like, no, you're not the head coach.
Right.
Like you're the owner of this facility.
You know what's softer?
Founder. You help us.
Founder.
Right. Like you're the one that like you.
Yeah.
Are like this. So like you can't. I'm saying, right, things are easier to say than to do.
Right.
But it's like you gotta really embrace what you have to do and
your
get
core
on
values.
it.
Same thing when you would tell somebody else. It's like, why don't you give yourself some time? Why don't you, if you would pull out of a kid, what if a kid was excelling, but he didn't want to go to the next level because he didn't want to leave his friends and make his friends feel bad that they were they weren't there yet. And I'm sure you've seen it. Mm-hmm. Like you have the kids who stand out. Like they're baseball. They just the way they pick up a bat, and then you see the kids like struggling in like 11, 12, 13 age. That's like a weird age where like you start to not feel who
whether
you
hit
are.
puberty or not, or these guys are taller, you're smaller, you're this, you're that.
Insecurities, emotions are running wild. So do you see a lot of that, and how do you talk the kid into, as if you were that young kid? So you're looking at like, you're a rock star. You obviously have, energy that you should be sharing, and the videos have been so I see you're doing that. You talk about doing a podcast, which is something that I think you should be doing, or more of this stuff, right? But it's a struggle for you.
Right.
So what if you saw the kid, related to the kid being back in, a standout kid who doesn't want to excel and doesn't want to move up, but even though he can be killing it at the next level, he could be, he's a star player of that team, making that team do better. Am I making sense right now?
I think some people are they fear the failure piece, right? They're afraid. They'd rather not try than to fail at something that they want to, or what's everybody else saying about me about that. And I heard some guy say this once, and I thought it just hit me so deep. It's not what I think about me. It's not what you think about me. It's what I think you think about me. So when you think of that, it's like, so you might be like, dude, Duke's an awesome guy, but if I think that you think I'm a jerk off, I have a way different perception. I could be way off. I could be way off. But yet I can't get that out of my own head. So it's being able to be, again, true to yourself, to be like, I don't care if he thinks I'm a jerk off. I'm going to be myself, and however the relationship goes, that's how it's going to go for me. And then if you like me for me, okay. But not me trying to get you to like me, because you might like me already. You know what I mean? It's like, what am I doing? But then you might not like me because I'm trying to be this fake guy.
Your core values stand out, though, man. You're a family guy. You got a beautiful wife, 4 kids, right, that you're super passionate about. You've created culture here. You've created leadership here. You're creating young leaders, which I think is super important. You are, man. That's making a big difference in the world, and not just, besides employing how many people that you employ here, the kids that you're affecting, and that's going to have an effect 10, 20, 30 years from now. Right. Because that's hopefully what they're going to be doing when they leave here, is keep creating that environment wherever they go. It's wild stuff. So that's what we just did, a transformation at the studio, because I was noticing guys 35 to 45, 50, even 55.
They get lost. They get lost.
They're family men working their asses off, financially successful, or reach the level of that they're comfortable at, giving themselves to everybody else but themselves. And again, that's leadership, right? So you talk about leadership. I want to get a hold of the parents here and talk to them about leadership, and it's all stemming from them as a whole. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I said these guys who are changing their bodies, not only are you changing yourself, but your kids are going to have an effect on it. Your wife.
That's amazing.
And you're doing it in your business.
And you feel good about yourself. So everything else that you give is just
better.
There's so much more. When you're happy. Acting out would be just that. Or I'd be like, I remember just doing this, moving my foot all the time in class, and people are like, stop. And for me to try to stop that, I had to take every ounce of energy in my body to stop my foot from me, because whether you got nervous or that just helps me release whatever, so I can focus now. If I stop this and now I'm just you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. We're the same.
I can love this dude.
It's like,
holy smokes.
But don't change who people are. Just adapt and just try to work out with what you have.
I love it, man. All right, so. Did we cover all the things I wanted to cover? I wanted to cover hot hands. You can get everything you need to know at dominatethediamond.com. So that's where you can get your hot hands. You can get your book. You can and you have a membership-based site where it's who's your market? Is it for the parents? Is it for the coaches?
It's for everyone, really. It's for anyone that wants to take their kid outside in the backyard and has no idea how to teach them how to play or catch or whatever. Or it's for the beginner coach, or it's for the advanced coach that wants more drills. You can go in there and see all we have 115 different videos of just drills, different drills. How do I teach this? Because like we said, the game's boring if you only know how to hit ground balls, toss a fly ball or roll a ground ball. There's way more to the game than that. So how do we keep it fun, teach them the basics, but then also the finer points of the game?
Is it monthly?
It's a membership that's it's not monthly yet. We're working on that. It's more, you have a rookies program, a minors, and a majors, and they can buy that program and watch those videos over and over and over again.
Gotcha. They can download them. They can keep them.
They can download them, keep them.
Okay.
They're there. So we're yep.
Good stuff, man. That's been, how long you been doing that?
It's been just about a year. It's about 11 and a half months.
You happy with it?
It's going well. It's going well. Mm-hmm.
That's something I want to do with Body, and create like a Body 365, we're calling it. Where you can download yoga videos. You can download.
I watch your videos on Instagram every day. Every day. It's just like the live feeds of a couple drills. There's a couple exercises.
We're trying,
and you just work it into the routine.
Who does your social media? You do it
we
yourself?
have a guy named Ray Neverett does it.
Okay.
I do a lot of it.
Ray Neverett. That's Ray Digby.
Ray Digby.
I don't even know his last name. I know him as Digby.
Ray Digby.
Yeah, what does it say his last name?
Navarrete. He's getting married this weekend.
I feel stupid now. Yeah, I should know that. But I know him as Digby because that's how branded he is, bro.
That's it, Digby.
Duke's owned. That's it. They go together.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Now, are you you mentioned earlier about the ego thing and self-promoting. Are you promoting just Zoned, or do you have your own Duke Baxter? Like, are you building? Building a personal brand?
That's very challenging. It's
Okay.
challenging because you think of Tony Robbins. It's
Right.
not a company. It's Tony Robbins
Right.
or Gary Vaynerchuk. And I know those are beasts in the industry.
Sure.
Anthony Monetti. And I just feel like I've always felt that Zoned. People think of Duke and Zoned, and I'll take an awesome video and post it to the Zoned, and people are always like, "Why? Like, how do I find you?" I'm like, "That is me. Like, that's where I am." But there came a time about 2 years ago, or even when we were shooting those videos, and I was starting to think, like, man, I need to put my stuff out there.
You're a brand.
Because there's
dude.
videos that I'm shooting out and sending them out, and they're all over the place, and it's like, well, not that you want to get like patted on the back or
Yeah.
and that's what I feel like when I put it on mine. That's why mine will have like.
Get over it, dude. Get over
Yeah.
it, because Zoned was created by you. Your vision. You sacrificed everything. You risked
Right.
everything. This place has become an amazing facility, right? I want to know who created that.
Right.
I want to train with. I want to see him. I want to train with him. I want my son to train with him. Whatever it is, you need to be promoting yourself separately, I believe, to not only separate it but tell your story. Like, this is all about like
Yeah.
you, and that you were, that you struck out your first season.
Right.
And you sucked at baseball.
And still played.
And still played.
And still played.
And you never gave up.
Right.
And you kept at it. And you
Yeah.
practiced. And you made it all the way up here. And then you were playing pro ball. And then you left to
Right.
start this. And now you're changing people's lives. Like, who's Duke?
Right.
I want to know about Duke.
Yeah.
Hashtag whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, just as a side note, I know it seems like
Yeah.
extra work, because trust me, I deal with it all the time. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be, Body by Anthony Monetti. I took my name out of it anymore. It's just Body.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be like that. I'm going to brand myself, and this is something that I'm creating. This is something I'm doing. It's a community, but
Right.
they want to know why and how I create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
the project My Life, I just think is so amazing.
it's about you.
I watch those and I'm just like, man, like that's because you don't know. We went on a ride yesterday. It was just Ray and Lou and myself, and we drove all the way out to Long Island to run this record. And it was like hearing guys talk about something. You hear things that you're like, wait, what?
Right.
You went through what? Like your life was like what? Like you don't really know people's journeys. You only see them at 44 years old
Right.
with a 28,000 square foot place and
Right.
32 employees and 16 teams and a book and bro, like I said, I started when I was 6.
Right.
And I didn't start till I was like 28. So there's, 20 years of stuff and it's not just, wow, man, how did you get this? Like you're so lucky.
Took me 30
Anthony,
years.
You're so lucky to have muscles like that. Like you're born.
so
It's like you were born with muscles.
Must be
like,
nice.
You're so lucky that you were. That's what people think. Like that's the easy way to be like, man, you're just gifted to have muscles. Like no one knows what you looked like when you were 12 or 13, and be like, wait, was I really? Do you think I was really? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I think it's so easy, and kids see that, they're like, man, how can I make $1 million like real fast?
Right.
Or what shortcut can I take to get to that? Dude, there's any shortcut. Yeah, there's shortcuts. It might take you to another step, but in order to get with the big thing,
Right.
the shortcuts stop, and eventually you have to just get to where you can be persistent enough, you can keep getting up and get through all the things that you need to go through to get to that spot. The shortcuts will stop after a while, but the shortcuts can get you somewhere, but they can't keep you there.
Right.
That's what you can get to the pros by knowing somebody, but then once I get there and I hit 210, and then next year I hit 160, I'm out.
Right.
See, I made it because you helped me, but I can't stay there if I don't have the ability and the drive to stay there.
The persistence, it's like the numbing of failure. Like you're just numb to it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fail. Cool. All right. There's a lot of things here I fucked up, even with talking with you, that I'm not gonna dwell about. But I'm just gonna be like, cool. I learned from it. Move on.
Right.
But it's like anything else in life. People don't want to go through that because it's icky. It's out of their comfort zone. It's painful. So people avoid it. And in the end, I don't know. Hopefully they get where they need to be. But I
Yeah.
don't think that I'm more proud of my journey and the failures and the trials and the tribulations and being where I'm at now, because I can proudly look around and be like, fuck, man, like this is I've been through a lot, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be,
Right.
right? But I know what's got me here is what's gonna get me there. It
Yeah, I
just,
think that's fun when watching your videos too. It's like everything's not perfect,
Right.
and that's what makes it more fun to watch what you're doing. Like if I were to show a drill and I would miss the ball, but then be like, oh man, this is a tough drill, and go right to the next one, not cut that, cut that.
One and done.
Like, who? Okay, oh wow, that looks perfect. Like, that's not real.
It's not real.
Like, people don't even want to see that stuff. Like, miss a ball, catch one, throw one, laugh, stumble over your words. Like, who cares?
That's
Like,
it.
it doesn't even matter. But when you're thinking so much like, oh my God, that wasn't perfect. Then you have kids that are taking, selfies of themselves. I saw this one girl take 16 selfies in a row until they got the right one. I'm like, you spent 25 minutes on like, that, like, you don't need that.
Your perfect image.
Put 16 filters on and you're like, that doesn't even look like you.
Right.
Like, come on, like, just
Quick
give
question.
yourself a break and love you for who you are,
Yeah,
not like,
it's hard to
because no
do.
one's even gonna recognize that person. That's not even a real person.
Right. Quick question, 3 quick questions, because something we didn't get to. What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I would say, oof, that's tough. I would say I'm most proud of. Family. I'm a family first guy. I used to just working. Like, that's what my dad did and my mom did, and I didn't until I got older. And a wise man told me, he goes, family first. Everything else will always be there. And I think that I'm proud that I try to get to my son's games and my daughter's gymnastics, and I try to make sure that I don't miss on those little things that are so easy to miss on.
Right.
There's always going to be something that we should be doing, and you have to make those decisions of, I'm gonna go to my son's game. Sometimes, of course, there's a time where you have to go to work and you have to do all that stuff. But I'm proud that I have 4 kids that I'm raising and a facility that people are able to do what they're passionate about. By me being as passionate as I can be and trying to instill that into the people that want to do that same thing and show like, whoa, I can start a baseball facility and have a living doing it. Oh, I can play baseball and get a scholarship to go play, or you know what I mean? Like, follow what you love to do. And so I think that's what I'm proud about, is that I didn't stop when everyone else said I couldn't go further. Like, you can't go play baseball in college. You can't start a baseball facility. There's no such thing. You can't.
Was there any around then or no? When you
There were
started?
a couple.
In Jersey?
Yeah, there were a couple in New Jersey, and but it's just, so that's what I'm proud that I just kept on going.
It's awesome.
It's easy to stop.
Hell
It's
yeah.
easy to quit.
What was your biggest challenge throughout the whole journey so far?
This is a tough one. My biggest challenge was when there were 4 partners here, and not many people know the journey of what this whole thing was, and I don't even know about putting it on there. Like, but we'll talk.
Okay.
I had my best friend that I went to school with. I had the guy who I trained his son since he was little, and then there was another guy that kind of had this place first. The guy that had this place first, after the first 6 months, couldn't handle it. After 5 years, 2 of the partners were like this. My best friend and this other guy were just head to head. So there was a choice that I had to make, was I'm either going to go with my best friend again and go start all over, or I was going to stay here. And I was getting my wife, we were getting ready to have our second child, and I had a decision that I had to either leave or stay. And I said I was going to stay. And that was the hardest thing ever in Applebee's, to say, you know what, like,
Wow.
I'm not starting all over again. And that kind of sliced a chord that was a huge relationship for a long time, that I had to then pick my family over, and it just
Wow.
that was brutal.
So you stayed by yourself? Well,
So then it was another guy still, and then 5 years after that I then ran into that same problem, where it was very challenging, and the 2 people just they split ways.
Yeah.
And I just had different ways that I wanted to do something, and so then I took over, and I've been here 6 years by myself, so the sole owner of Zone 6 years, and
all right.
yes, that was a very
Big
difficult
challenge. Wow.
very difficult situation, and then from that, being a baseball guy, not really a business guy,
Right.
for all those years building a monster, clientele and all these things, and then having to be told, okay, you have to do books now,
Right.
you have to be able to fire people and hire people now, you
Right.
have to control scheduling now and know about insurance and deal with contracts, and
Yeah.
whoa.
How do I do
And then
all that?
joining, and that day was the day that I signed up for the SBAA and met Ed Dolan, and I met Karen and Kelly and joined the group and then really started surrounding myself with people that have been through it. And,
Interesting.
you know, so when I did
6 years ago.
that was about 5, 6 years
Okay.
ago. And that was like, so meeting you and Karen and Kelly and Ed and really helped me like, whoa, like people are going through the same thing. And I think
Right.
that's where the connection with you and I was so much. I remember you coming in here, we were on the side of the wall and you were just saying the F word every 2 seconds. And I remember Karen trying to like tame it down a tiny bit. And I was just like laughing like, wait, we can be ourselves, because I'm a baseball guy. Always like that word was just tossed all around the field every 2 seconds or in the love, you know, and I was just like, dude, he's like a real guy. Like he's a business owner that's real, you know, and I think that's where it was like he's just himself. Like I love that about you.
That's awesome.
And when we were talking, it was like, man, like I need to be around them more, because it's okay to not know everything about everything about, you know, like, and
It has been a great group, man. You definitely, and it's cool just to vent. Like we're Terry Lyons talks about it all the time. You know, like one day you're like, you know, I'm the man. You know, this is amazing. This is beautiful. I'm living the dream. Then the next day you're like, I suck. You know, I'm miserable. I suck at this. Why am I doing this? So it's that constant roller coaster when you see like everybody goes through it when you have your own
real.
business. It's real.
Right? It's real. People only see the great stuff.
That's awesome. Damn, bro. I can sit here and talk to you for hours. Do you drink?
Yeah.
What do you drink? You
Southern
bourbon?
Comfort.
Oh, okay. I'm a bourbon guy.
You know, that's the first time I ever told anybody about the actual real hardcore like nuts and bolts like of the
story.
with my
I
best
appreciate
friend
that,
like
man.
that. You know, like
I appreciate that.
it's like balls.